So this morning, God is just reminding me to remind all of us that the devil quote unquote blesses, because I wouldn't consider anything the devil gives a blessing, but he, for lack of a better word, blesses his children too. And I don't say this from my own thoughts, words. It says in the Bible that Satan has his own children. So some Christians are under the impression that we're all God's children, and in a way we are, but it directly talks about in the Bible how Satan has children too. So this word is a little bit of it's a quick word, but it's a branch off of my last word about the worldly not prospering. So that's kind of what God means, is that in the Bible it talks about if you're lukewarm, then he'll spit you out, meaning you won't be for him. So if you don't work for him, then you work for the latter, which would be Satan. So if you're having like this abundant life and you haven't been saved, there's a 99% chance that's coming from Satan. He's helping you to stay on the track you're on. So if you're living a sinful life but you're still prospering, in various ways, your business is thriving, that's from Satan. If you're still able to make those house payments every month without fail or struggle, that's from Satan. So there's ways that Satan moves and operates in order to continue. If Satan didn't give nothing at all whatsoever, how would he keep people on his team? People know that if you walk with the Lord, you get peace, joy, salvation, blessings, this. So why are so many people still working for Satan? It's because he will reward you for living in sin, right? So if you're living a sinful life and you haven't been saved or delivered yet, and you're still ahead, so to speak, that's from Satan. He wants to keep you with him, because if he had you lose everything and you were down on your luck, completely down on your knees, you'd go to God. And then you'd become saved and no longer be on his team, right? So he has I'm not sure how that all works, but he has his own, players on his side, right? Just like God does. You have to choose to make the conversion from one team to another. That choice is ultimately always ours. So God's just saying, I forgot to mention it, added in my last word about the worldly will not prosper. He's saying that if there are people out there, there's people that are saved and delivered and work for the Lord's team that maybe aren't fully prospering at this point, but that doesn't mean that they don't work for the Lord, or that they'll never prosper, or prosperity isn't theirs. I would rather be on the Lord's team and not fully prosperous abundant than have everything I could need and work for Satan. But there are people that do work for Satan and they don't realize that they do, and Satan will reward them for working for them, just like how the Lord does, right? So you have to really ask yourself if you're saved. So you can be having a struggle in life but be saved, but then you can also maybe not be struggling per se in materially, in the physical, but that's because you're working for Satan. And there's people, God's saying there's people that are mistaken. They think that they don't work for Satan because they have some forms of prosperity. But what it comes down to is if you're saved or not. If you're prosperous and you're saved, then you work for the Lord. If you're prosperous and you're not saved, then you work for Satan.